All right, so today what we're going to be doing is talking about how to use the leg press. This is from the company cybex. I think it's called the Eagle model. First thing you want to do, obviously, is adjust your seat, the backrest, I mean. I recommend three. And then the foot pad, you want to move it to a position where you're going to be able to get the most depth. So I recommend you always put it to one, adjust the weight accordingly, and just make sure that you choose the right weight. That little knob there is to just add, 5 to 15 pounds. Now, once you start your repetition, you just get your feet set up and then sink into the seat. Make sure to grab the handles, fully extend. Your feet need to be around, I say like, hip distance apart, a little bit wider even. That's going to give you the best range of motion. Now, obviously, I slowed down the clip, but the main things you want to do here, make sure that you're pushing with your feet, not like with the whole foot. I mean, obviously your feet, you can't push with your hands on this, but basically you want to make sure that you're not pushing with like your toes or just your heels. You want to like obviously you want to put a little bit more pressure on the heel, but you want to make sure that you're pushing with the whole foot. And make sure that your foot placement is right around the center or the middle level of the platform, with your feet around shoulder width apart. Now, as you go up, do not lock your knees. Go all the way down to where the stack almost hits the next weight a little bit, but doesn't necessarily hit. You only slam it every time you do it. It's super annoying. But basically, this is how you want your feet. So, like I said, shoulder width apart. You want to make sure that you're pushing up with your legs and that your knees don't cave in together. And the pressure on your foot should not be like on the outside of the feet. It should be on the whole foot. Come all the way up, don't lock out again, and then go all the way down. Use full range of motion, okay? Half reps don't work. Just do full range of motion. I mean, sometimes it's good to have it at the end of your workout, whatever. Some people might argue that, but you shouldn't be starting with half reps. Lower the weight, get the repetitions high, up to 20 reps until you learn the movement. Once you learn the movement, then yeah, start putting the weight up. I mean, you want to make sure that you're doing progressive overload, which is going to allow you to go into more of a hypertrophy phase, which is going to allow you to build more muscle tissue, which everybody needs. Men, women, old, young, everybody needs more muscle. It's only going to improve your health because then you improve your metabolism. Now, some common mistakes are just bringing your heels up like this. You don't want to do that. You don't want to push from your toes. It's going to put an incredible amount of strain on your knees. You also don't want your feet this high. I mean, I'm over exaggerating. Like if I went any higher, I'd just fall out of the machine. But basically, you don't want your feet that high. That's pushing from your heels technically, but it's also unsafe. If you slip, you're going to slam that machine all the way down. Obviously, if your feet are too low, this is probably gonna crack your knees open. Like honestly, especially if you use a lot of weight. Just make sure that you don't do this, which is pretty obvious. But also, like I said before, you don't want to bend. You don't want to have your legs completely extended. And this goes for any leg press machine. Don't extend your knees completely. This is going to cause your knee to hyperextend, and if it hyperextends too much, it's obviously going to break. Your knees are not meant to bend that way. They're supposed to bend that way. So make sure that you don't lock out the knees. You want to go high enough to where you're not completely locked out, but you're like a little bend away from that, and keep tension. Tension is a good thing. Don't pause at the top. Don't pause at the bottom. Just keep it moving consistently. That's what's going to allow you to build as much muscle as possible.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications. And if you want to take it a step further and work with us or support the channel further, there are a few ways you could do that down below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and God bless you.